Joseph Makotsi is my name, and having conceived this whole idea of Kim's Foundation and having an orphanage, this is the land I have in mind that will have the structures that are going to house the kids, probably some recreational facilities, and whatever other project we may have to engage in. It's about 3 acres worth of land. Currently, as you can see, tree crop, eucalyptus and grevillea trees behind me that are on the land, but as soon as the project kicks off, I'll be very glad to do the uprooting of the trees, and then landscaping is done, and we now move on with the phase of construction. As it is, the place will probably fit several buildings that will be housing the kids. We could also construct a swimming pool that can be income generating as well, as much as it can be used by the kids, and at the same time a hall that could serve as a dining hall for the kids, and at the same time could be leased out for functions that would be a money generating project for the home, so that with the least money we are able to at least provide for the orphans alongside other contributions that we might have. As you can see, the land is fairly fertile from the bushes that there are, that even we can also have a small garden and greenhouse where we can get we can set aside a corner where we can plant all these vegetables that will be able to benefit the kids. It's about 3 acres of land, this close to 1.1 hectares in the new measurements, and it doesn't have any hills or any valleys or anything like that. So for landscaping and construction, it's fairly easy to put up structures without so much of complications. And the whole entire land can be utilized for whatever purpose. As it is, you could see on this side of the plot, there is an access road, and then there is a main road that goes on the other side as well. And also on the other side of the land, we have another access road. It's therefore paramount that we must have a perimeter fence, stone and metal perimeter fence, that will have to protect the children who are staying here from any external interference. So all round, my suggestion would be that the whole place is thoroughly fenced and well secured, probably before even the construction begins. That should be one of the earliest projects that we may have to undertake. Now, my imagination would be that this is more than enough land just for the orphanage alone, and considering that the orphans will need to have some kindergarten and some schooling facilities, I would suggest that this area that borders the road would have a structure that would serve as classrooms and a playground for the kids, whereas the back area would have the boarding facilities for the children that will be housed in here. Mm-hmm. So probably imagine if we have facilities like an infirmary, maternity unit that will be able to assist the community, those mothers who are not able to find facilities to the hospital and have lots of problems with childbirth, then we can have a structure that accesses the road so that the community that uses these facilities does not interfere with the running of the kindergarten and the orphanage at all. And at the same time, probably at the very front area, maybe in that corner there, we could do some flats that would be able to house staff, so that they can also have access to their housing without necessarily coming through the orphanage. Now this is the entrance to my home, which is Reverend Kesia Emali Makotsi's home, because I'm her son who lives with her in the home. And we have, in my thinking, a lot more facilities on ground, as this compound borders this land for the set aside for the orphanage, still in Reverend's compound, which is my compound. We still have a lot of extra space should there be need for expansions. Once you get through this gate, it is fairly secured, a fairly secured compound. There is the cottage here on the left, the one that is housing Hank now at the moment, that can still serve to house some of the volunteer teachers, should they be able to come over and give some help to the orphanage. And then over there is a bungalow. This bungalow has 5 bedrooms in it, and because most of the time I'm not usually on ground, my family, my personal family stays away in Nakuru. Some of the volunteers can be housed in here as well. On the other side, right in front of the car here, we have Reverend Kim's house, which is fairly huge, that if I had so many volunteers, I would have to move in there. And my family, it can accommodate my family and Reverend herself, and I would let the visitors use the bungalow for whatever duration of time they will be around assisting, be it a month, be it half a year, or should they even just wish to stay permanently. This other side here, plenty of ground and lots of trees as well that still have room for construction. And should the kids wish to have a change of a scene, because the land for the orphanage is right across, they can always come over and entertain themselves in this compound. As it is, one of my main reasons is not to live in a home like Reverend did with me alone. I just want my whole life, I want to retire with children all over and all around me. And I mean it. I love kids. You see how I take care of them? This is another structure. This was a house for my late brother before he moved on to his own site and his own land. And for now, it is empty and vacant with some renovation as well. This can house 2 or 3 volunteers comfortably as we develop our own on our site. As it is, from my compound, what is next door, on the next, by the fence, is the plot we marked for the orphanage. So if it were not for the access road in between my compound and the orphanage compound, this would be close to 1 parcel of land. And this is convenient for both administrative purposes, for me, those who will be on this compound, and those across at the orphanage. Yeah, besides the greenhouse for vegetables, one of the projects the orphanage can engage in would be having a tree nursery with all assorted trees, indigenous. We have eucalyptus here, we have grevillea over there, and many other types of trees as well. Also, beauty flowers, fence plants like the golden duranta here, cypress. All these tree farming is quite marketable, And with a well-kept nursery, the orphanage should be able to raise some funds as well.